So, a while ago, I had a dream, and it was like I had a different family, and we were on a vacation. And I went up to my mom in the dream, and I was just like, "Hey, I think I have insomnia." And like I kind of like tensed, like bracing for like whatever came after that. And she's like, "Oh, okay, we'll just get you some melatonin, and when we get back, back home, then I'll take you to the doctor and we can see what's up." And I was like, "You're not mad? That's it? That's that problem solved? It's not a like problem?" And she's like, "No, why would it be?" And I was just like, "No reason." And I just took it. And I was just so confused. Like I was walking away and I was so confused, but I was like, okay, so we still get to enjoy the family vacation, and I get, a temporary fix you know, until we got back home or whatever. And I was just like, huh. And then when I woke up, I was just like, oh, so that's a healthy way to address a problem like that. And that was something I was not used to, because I was so used to like every time I had a issue, it would be like rebuked or ignored or not taken seriously. And it would drive me freaking nuts, because it's just like I know I have a problem. And like when I was a teenager, that's like how I felt. As like I know something's wrong with me. I know something's wrong with me because I am tired more often than I should be. I can't sleep. Whenever I go to sleep, I'm just in this like weird meditative dormant state. I can move my body at will, but at the same time, like I'm just laying still and I'm conscious. Like all it is just like I just close my eyes. That's it. I just close my eyes and let my body be still for a while. And that was just how that was sleep for me. And every time I would like bring up a problem, it would just be a whole thing. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you're always having problems. You're always this, you're always that, and all of that. And I get it. I had problems a lot when I was younger. But like I just knew something was wrong with me my whole fucking life. But I learned to ignore the problems. Most pains I didn't even bring up until I had had it for a week, because it was deemed as gas. And it was so frustrating because like I knew I needed some kind of fucking help, but I didn't know how to articulate it because I didn't know what was wrong with me. It wasn't until I became an adult that I realized that I had mental fucking issues and I needed some motherfucking therapy. And all of that stemming from freaking trauma, but I was just so used to just being a burden and so much being expected for me to do. Like I had to do all of this fucking shit for my whole family and all these chores and stuff, that it was whatever it was. And realizing from a dream that a healthy response to a child saying that they have a problem is to just be like, okay, and then come up with a solution, was like eye opening for me. And it made me think a little differently about how I treat myself when I feel like I'm not doing something right, or I'm having some kind of trouble. And it's like, okay, so this is the way I should be talking to myself. And then it put me in a even bigger awareness to where it's just like, okay, let me make sure that this is also how I am talking to my children when they bring something to me. And it's just funny to think about. It is, because I wasn't used to that, to not feeling like I wasn't worth the trouble. Like, I wasn't used to feeling worth the effort to assist, because it was like always a problem. And I didn't realize that always being painted as a problem child, or like someone that always has something wrong with them, changed how I dealt with myself too. If that makes any sense. But yeah, it was just fucking mind blowing to me that a whole fucking dream changed my perception of how I like see me when I'm struggling with something. Because I don't think I've ever like had I didn't have that healthy dynamic growing up, where I just be like, hey, this is something that's creating a problem for me, and then a solution. It was just always like, get over it, forget about it, you're over exaggerating, you know oh my god, you always have something wrong with you, which is like the whole burden thing. And it's just like, well, I guess I just won't bring up my problems anymore, and that's that. It was such a fucking relief. It was such an insane amount of fucking relief. And I was just like, can I stay here forever? And it's like, it almost makes me want to cry for the younger me, because it's just like, she almost didn't know how to respond to the lack of conflict, and to how easy and simple that conversation was. It wasn't stressful. I didn't have to word it in 16,000 different ways to make it not seem offensive, or like I wasn't blaming somebody. I didn't have to wait too long for a fucking response. And I kind of want to go back. Like, can I bring Dream Mom into the reality? Anyways, I guess that's it. This is just fucking weird. A weird one. That's it.